Friends, if you're watching the news at all, you may say that looks highly suspicious. The guys we haven't seen for 4 years, exactly 4 years, are suddenly coming back to the forefront again. Antifa coming out of the shadows once again. I don't know why it is exactly 4 years since we saw them in 2020. 2020 summertime, they were out in force. We're going to be talking about what these guys are up to, what's really going on here. We have a whole bunch of college campuses across the United States protesting for Palestinians. But it seems like the only time they care about people with lots of pigment in their skin, and the only time they care about people in other countries are in election years. Yes, friends, we're going there. Let's jump right into it. Welcome to the Poplar Report. I'm Steve Poplar. I'm an accountant by trade, and I'm watching this insanity just like you are. Columbia University in New York, NYPD went through and arrested and smashed up, dragged these kids out. Most of them not Columbia University students. So non-Columbia University students holding up in Columbia University and confiscating and seizing property, setting up tent cities. And this is not just in New York. Los Angeles at UCLA, just last night, LAPD went into the campus and to clear out over 1,000 protesters. And we see that these are not just random students. This isn't like a heart swell of random students saying, you know, we're really upset with what's going on over there. No, we're seeing that this is riled up, astroturfed, paid protesters. That's right. I'm saying that. Paid protesters. Antifa, so you hear grassroots movement when it's fake, when it's paid, when all the people showing up are agitators that are paid to do so. That's called astroturfing, right? Because it's not real grass, it's not grassroots, it's fake. And so that's what we're seeing. New York, Los Angeles, Portland. We're seeing this also up in Canada, Montreal, Canada. We're seeing Antifa mobs going around smashing windows, attacking cars. And this is all connected. This isn't just people are upset and so they're acting out. Marching orders have been given. And like I said, last time they got their marching orders was 4 years ago. We had the summer of discontent, right? We had all the reasons that were given were not real reasons. Why would you be upset about somebody, police, doing this? And so your response to that is to burn buildings and shops in your community. Stealing a plasma TV because you're upset that someone else perished. That doesn't work. It doesn't make sense. And yet that's what we're supposed to believe. And so now we're seeing the very same thing happening on college campuses. And mark my words, this is going to spread from college campuses out onto the streets. The money that has been sent has not been sent to universities. The people who are working these jobs of instigation are trying to get as many of these college students on board with them as they can. But mark my words, the purpose of this is to sow chaos and discontent out there. And we're going to be seeing this happening more and more because this is what they do in order to create chaos before November. We're going to see more of this. And this is being funded by all the same guys that you know behind the shadows, the shadow figures that pay for these kind of things. I was just on Twitter, that cesspool of free speech. That's cesspool of free speech. It's both a cesspool, but it also has free speech, which is kind of crazy. But interesting the things that are being talked about there. Antifa is recruiting for medics, the pink shirts that they're at these protests. Everyone wears black bloc. They cover their faces so that nobody can identify them. They don't want their pictures taken because they don't want to be identified as radical activists from other states, right? They want to be like, oh, well, we're locals. Yeah, but a lot of these guys are being trucked in from long, far away, and they're being paid to agitate. They're being paid to do these things. And the Antifa medics out there are, if you've ever seen the videos out there, it's ridiculous. Watching them treat people is a Cub Scout would do a better job treating somebody than these Antifa medics. They don't seem to know how to do anything. All they're doing is just sitting people down and staring at them. They don't have medical kits. They just, why are they there? One of the biggest things that these Antifa medics tend to carry is Narcan, because they get homeless people into their mobs, because they can pull these people in, give them a little bit of money or a little bit of food, and get them to march with them. The problem is those guys are potentially going to overdose, and so that's why they need to carry Narcan, is so that for the druggies in their mob, that they can revive them, because them dying makes it look bad, right? It's insanity what we're seeing, but friends, this is very real danger. If you live in downtown urban areas, or you work in downtown urban areas, or have to even pass through for whatever reason, this could be a threat to you. And you need to be aware of what's happening around you. Around these encampments, they are basically taking over areas of the city and saying that our laws apply here. You have to know what you're doing if you're going to Iran or you go to Afghanistan under the Taliban today. You need to realize that American laws don't really protect you there. And in the same way, you go into any of these territories, apparently the police, by and large, are just standing back and watching this happen. Now, we've seen the NYPD go into Columbia University and liberate. We've seen just last night, while you've been sleeping probably, the LAPD moved in on the UCLA to clear out the protest camp there. And we're seeing that these riots are not being checked in Portland and in some of the cities in Canada. So what's happening? Well, it's 2020 all over again. All the rules for civilized society go out the window when these people who have been given a carte blanche, they've been given a free rein, a free hand to do whatever they want to do. And why are they... And one of the interesting things is that the police have come down hard on these two places, in Columbia University and UCLA. Why are they coming down hard on them except to make them look like victims? What they're doing is they're desperate in search of a martyr or two. 2020, they had George Floyd, and they had martyrs. Okay. They desperately need martyrs, and so they're using the police to try to go after these people so that they can maybe get a martyr. If they can get that, then they can just go off the rails completely. And mark my words, in the coming days, they are desperately seeking for some event, something that will swing the popular favor in their direction, right? They want to be the ones with a righteous cause, and they desperately need some kind of police brutality. They desperately need some sort of event that they can then use to claim is why they're doing all that they're doing. Some outrageous event, something that they can claim is outrageous. And when they find that, you're going to see this whole thing blow up like you haven't seen since 2020. We're going to see people marching in the streets, painting the streets with all sorts of paint, like they did for BLM and all those type of murals that went up all over the place. They want that same energy driving this into November. And so they are desperately searching for some martyrs, searching for some instigating events. This is right out of their playbook. You can go read it. Right? I mean, this is not new stuff. You've seen this before. You know that that the books exist, and they're following through on it. Antifa is exactly like 1930s, 1940s over in the country with the guy with the mustache, right? The guy's wearing not military uniforms, but just shirts that may have been brownish in color. That's what these guys' function is, to serve as that non-official but yet politically correct military force that can go and attack people who aren't in line with their beliefs, that can force people to get in line with things, and attack people who are not. And interestingly enough, in a horrifying way, they are going after Israeli citizens. They're going after Jewish people here in the United States, which is intolerable. Intolerable. On 9/11, we said never again. After the Holocaust, we said never again. And yet here we are, watching it happen again. And there are far too many people silent on this issue. People that shouldn't be. This should not be a Democrat, Republican, Libertarian, Green Party issue. We should be all against anti-Semitism. Just all of us should be against that. It's evil. Evil incarnate, and that's exactly what's going down on college campuses and going down on these protests. And these are paid protesters. Mark my words. They are organized. I know they keep saying, well, Antifa is not an organization. Yes, it is. It is clearly an organization. These people are being paid. They're being paid money. Are they reporting this on their taxes? I 100% promise you they are not. They're getting their student loans forgiven. A lot of these are unemployed students who have gotten caught up in this military organization. And they are going to go out there and force, not just this summer, but in November, they're going to switch clothes and they're going to go out there and stuff things, right? They're going to take lots of paper and just jam those into those boxes and such. That's what they did in 2020, and believe me, they're going to do it again. These guys have their purpose, they have their roles, and if they don't get their way, they will burn their cities to the ground. Friends, we need to be having some honest, heart-to-heart conversations about these things, because this is where this is going. We've seen this playbook before, and if you think that's going to be less than it was in 2020, you got another thing coming. This is going to be more. They're going to go harder. They're going to go bigger. They're going to go more fierce. It's going to be more intense than it was in 2020. Know where your friends and your family members are. Make sure they're safe. Make sure the people that you know how to protect themselves and know how to protect the people around them. Know how to stay out of trouble, how to avoid situations. There's going to be situations. And it's going to be bad. Whether you win the battle or not, legally you're going to lose. Even if you get years after the whole thing, after years of litigation and lawsuits and criminal trials, you get acquitted. Friends, the legal costs are going to be through the roof. Your life is going to be over. We saw this with some of the people that got chewed up and mauled in 2020. Friends, you don't want to be the poster child. I promise you, you don't want to be the poster child. All the people that have been through that wish that it had never happened to them. Don't be there. And for those who end up there, we need to make sure that we're doing whatever we can to support them, because their lives are going to be awful when these judicial machines go after them for doing nothing more than protecting themselves or protecting the people around them. This is what's coming our way. It's coming across that border. It's coming at us from all directions, friends. And you need to be ready for it. Get your seatbelt on and make sure that you are hard at work getting more prepared. And friends, we're going to try to make it through this year. All right. Thanks so much for watching. If you want to check out another video from this channel, there's one right up here. I'll see you over there, or I'll see you guys later. Steve Poplar of the Poplar Report.